Coaching Cafe. My name is Belinda Dowston, and it is wonderful that you are here with me for our weekly I Ching overview for the week commencing the 28th of August, 2023. One of our followers on YouTube asked a great question. It's a question that has come up many times before about how do we know when the start and stop period of a weekly or a monthly hexagram apply? Is there a possibility that it extends a few days before and a few days afterwards? Because there have been experiences from some in the community that the hexagram comes and starts activating early, or a few days after the week is over, it's still closing off and bringing its insight. And the answer to that question is absolutely. What I said in the comment was that, these hexagrams are flows and cycles. It's not like a Cinderella where at the stroke of midnight, suddenly the chariot is turned into the pumpkin. And you will find that there is this overlap as the weeks cycles through. If you are needing to continue to work with the energy of that hexagram for a couple of days after, that's what you're going to get. So just be open to these cycles of flow. I always feel like a couple of days, 2 days, let's call it, on either side is some variability. I often feel the hexagram already starting to churn, right, a couple of days before the week starts, and maybe that's for you as well. So work with it and be open to how it influences and brings you the wisdom you need. Right, so let's get on to looking back to last week as we recap and take some learning out of last week. This is all about internalizing our learning and finding ways of reflecting and using the reflection of what happened last week, what the insights were, to build a deeper understanding of ourselves and what we're trying to achieve. So last week we had hexagram 19, approach the arrival of a blessing, of energy, of something great approaching something small, all right? That spring thaw, bringing us a blessing, bringing us light, and that beautiful changing line speaking to this idea of seeing the blessing, culmination of that blessing, and then being generous with your spirit, with your life, with your wisdom to others who are needing some support. Plus, decrease hexagram 41, where we were asked to cut back, get focused, get laser beam focused on what's really important, and put down all the riffraff, all the unnecessary uses and flows of our energy where it does not need to go. Getting really, really focused on what's important and seeing the blessing in loss. So as you focus on last week, where were those blessings coming that were culminating for us? And were you able to open up and just welcome it and work with it, be expansive and be generous with yourself or with your flow to others, plus putting down what's unnecessary? Please do share a comment if there was something that created awareness for you last week. So let's get into this week. It's really the last week of the August weekly overviews, a little bit of August as we start heading into September. So let us see, what is this week asking us to pay attention to? We have a locked hexagram, but that's okay because it's hexagram 46 pushing upward. This is a hexagram where we are being given full reign, full permission to work. Okay, and you might think, I don't want to work anymore. But this is about putting in the effort, goal setting, having a plate that you're working towards, having a thing that's important, putting your energy into doing the work, sweating, work, climbing that mountain, okay, is the symbol of this hexagram. Also speaks to this idea, if we look at the structure of the hexagram, of windward beneath earth. Windward is also the symbol of plants growing, okay? The subtle way that plants are able to push around obstacles, find their way to the light, pushing through the earth and emerging and seeking the light. Okay, so we are all being focused. Our attention is being drawn to what is the light that we are seeking, okay? And for each of us, that might be a totally different thing. In your personal life, in your business life, team life, different things altogether, might be different across all of them, might be one particular thing. What does searching for the light mean? What is the goal? Okay, whether that is a career goal, financial goal, a personal or relationship goal, or something that you're working towards, something that's important that you're wanting to achieve, that's going to unlock flow for you at this time. And this week, work at it. Okay, that is all we need to know. We need to be willing to roll up our sleeves and get physical, get involved, sweat, put in the effort. And wherever we find slight obstacles in the path of this week, is to be like the plant that seeks the light. That's the wisdom of this hexagram. A plant does not get hung up by the fact that there's a tiny little stone. In fact, stones in the ground are part of nature. What the plant does is it grows around the stone. Oh, there's a little stone. Right, let's go left. Right, let's go right. Let's just keep on searching for the light. And if our goal is meaningful enough, this week we're going to be able to work and put in the effort and, in a way, whistle while we work. There's a really great energy that comes, especially if we can work with others to do this, of putting in the effort and going for it. Okay, putting in the work and feeling like you've actually really got somewhere because you have done that. And I really look forward to this week. We've had lots of weeks where we've had obstruction and slow down and, be open, don't take action, wait. Okay. And this is like, no, work, go for it. Do what you have to this week to make strides, to get somewhere, and to go for it. Lovely energy for us to work with. And as always, as the I Ching brings our attention to focus on these things, perhaps part of our week is to think, are the goals that we're striving towards high enough? Can we lift our view? Can we broaden and think about a higher goal? Okay, we're heading for the light. We're heading for the sun. What can we do to broaden the goals we're working towards, not limit ourselves, and put in the effort where effort is due? I would say that there's a huge opportunity for us this week, especially as it's locked, okay? In other words, there's no changing lines. It's a doubling down and intensifying of this energy that we can move mountains this coming week. We can really put our shoulder to the grindstone and move mountains. And I will be there, right there with you, putting my shoulder to my unending to-do list and pushing forward towards a goal. Make sure that you work with focusing on what's really important this week. Take that idea of having a very clear goal into the week. Use that as your focus point for really unlocking and maximizing the energy of this week. Right, so that is what we're being asked to pay attention to. Work, work, work. So happy working, happy shoveling, happy sweating. It's a happy working week. Make space in your diary to get stuff done. Thank you so much. Please like and share. All likes really make a difference to the channel. And if you're new, please subscribe either on YouTube or on the podcast. Hit the follow button. And I look forward to getting the next episode, our monthly overview for September, can you believe it, into your app as soon as it is ready. So on that note, have a wonderful week. And I look forward to seeing you soon.